Hi dear all, I'm Dr. PLN. Welcome to my talk on thinking. The topic of thinking of the day is the science of apple is literature. Yes, of course, the science of apple is literature. So in this sense, I'm going to talk about some interesting connection between science and literature, if it is very into literature. So before talking about the science of apple, I'd like to talk about the apple of science. The apple of science. The apple of science is something that is connected with Newton's theory of gravitational force. So he saw something, that apple falling down from a tree, apple tree. And why is it falling down? He invented that it's because the gravitational force of the earth. Okay, that's fine. That is apple of science. We know, generally we find it. Now we are going to talk about the science of apple is literature. In a tricky sense, I'm giving it to you. Yeah. So last time I talked about education and the connection between nature, knowledge, education, all that. Now I'm coming on the same lines now again. Yeah. So education is knowledge. Okay, because that is knowledge. That's why we are following the knowledge in the form of education. We are studying. Yeah. Knowledge is truth. Yeah, because of that fact only, that something is truth, we follow that. So education is truth, education is knowledge. Now, how the truth occurs, why something is truth, we can understand because that naturally occurs. Something like apple is falling down due to gravitational force, that is truth. Okay, so that the truth becomes knowledge, and this is because of natural occurrence. And apple is not flying, apple is coming down on this. That is the natural process, always. That is the truth. So from nature we understand what is truth, and we understand that is knowledge, and we understand that is education finally comes for the purpose of learning for the people. Okay, that's fine. Now we are going to talk about the science of apple is literature in the sense. Now, what is nature if it is connected with science? The science, what is the science here? Apple is falling down, and the gravitational force is pulling it down. Okay, so is the weight related to apple because of that weight it is falling down, or is it related to the gravitational force? The force is pulling it back. The weight has no special thing in the force of gravitational force. Is it a matter? What is it? What is it exactly? The science establishes something like it is the main thing. The main thing is gravitational force. And the weight we perceive as human beings, this is we perceive. And the gravitational force, it is not the gravitation which perceives weight. It is just pulling. Okay? That is science. So what is in nature? If the same science we can understand, if you can understand. Yeah. The apple is falling down. What is the apple exactly? What is the apple exactly? Why is it pulling it down? Why Earth is pulling it down? I'm talking in terms of nature. Why Earth is pulling it down? You see, you understand. Now, the point is, the apple is nothing but Earth. The apple is nothing but Earth because apple tree began to grow from the earth, taking it the sources of food, etc., whatever it may be in the circumstances of natural circumstances. It is getting food and it is growing and it is giving apple. Okay, apple is nothing but, again, the earth in another form, in an eatable form for human beings. Okay, so the weight of apple is nothing but that's the same thing from the earth in another form. That is nature. Now I'm talking about the science. It is pulling down and it is falling down. That is science. That's okay. Now, if you talk about the same thing in terms of nature, why is it pulling? Because it is pulling its own earth. A piece of earth in the form of apple, it is pulling down. It is nothing but it's a part of the earth actually. So it is pulling down. This is nature. Okay. Then again, I'm going to talk about literature. This apple, now, the apple is falling down or it is pulling by, it is being pulled by the earth. Yeah, it is being pulled by the earth, like a mother hugs her child with love. If I talk in this manner about the same thing, about the science, about the natural thing, what occurs here, Mother Earth is pulling the apple down. A mother is hugging her child with love. If I talk about the same thing in this manner, it becomes a poetic manner of understanding. This is called literature. Why literature? Why am I talking in such some other kind of manner? Because I am providing human touch to that action. The relationship between the apple and the earth, I am giving human touch. When I give human touch, it includes emotion, love and affection, and many other senses too. So in this way, we have to understand literature. It becomes a symbolic significance. It is called, when we analyze symbolic significance in literature, if you are reading some novel, etc., science fiction. So in this way, we need to understand things. If something occurs like that, if a writer writes like that, okay? So this is the topic of thinking today. So I hope you got useful information. Thank you very much for listening and see you again. Thank you.